Alright, Monday. So my first class was what I thought was going to be intro to film criticism, but it actually ended up being like history of Hollywood cinema of like the 1930s through 50s, which is not what I expected it to end up being, but that's fine because it's still pretty interesting. It looks like it's gonna be mostly split between film screenings of early films. We're gonna things like Frankenstein and Casablanca, and also like lesser known stuff. And lectures like talking about the system and how it produced those films and how that's changed over time, and like how the studio system came to be and how that worked. It's gonna be largely a history class, and then some take-home readings, but not like an extensive amount of those. I have Professor Sconce, who taught my media context class last year, and I love him, so that should be exciting. I'm looking forward to this class, basically. Alright, so Tuesdays and Thursdays I have 3 classes all in a row. And they're all like right consecutive, which means I have to run all the way across campus to get over from the other. And it starts with media construction, which is like an intro course to like the practical, technical side of making movies. And the professor there is it's like his first year doing full time, and he's really chill, and the whole class seems really informal so far. We also have a lab for that tomorrow where they actually do stuff, because this was just a lecture so far. So we'll see how that works out. But so far, it's looking good. It was a lot of just like introducing people today and kind of like talking about like where we were coming to film like as a person, and like what our goals were, and that went for about 2 hours. And then after that we went to a religious studies class on religion and sex in America, and we talked a little bit about like Kim Davis today, and just kind of, it was more like introductions, trying to figure out, it was all foundational stuff today. And that professor, he seems cool. He's a great speaker, got a lot of like really strong inflections and stuff. And then from there I went all the way like across campus. It was like a 15-minute walk that I had to make in 10 minutes, so I had to like run a little bit. I'll probably just take the bike from here on out, and that'll probably be fine. I made it on time today, but so in that class is sociology in the environment, so it's about like environmental issues from a sociological perspective, and like the causes from that on like a society-wide basis, along with kind of potential solutions and how we might address those problems, and which is something that I want to know about, because like that's important ideas, and it's something that I don't really know much about, so I feel like I need to get educated. So still optimistic about all classes, partially because none of those classes, you may have noticed, were Spanish, so that's a new and exciting thing this quarter, so looking forward to that. Alright, so generally my phone is charging when I go out to classes, so I can't record much stuff out and about and show you the world, but this is the Lewis building, this is where the RTVF classes are, and that over there is the library. And here's the same building at night, because I take this class at night, because it's an evening class, so that'll be exciting. So yeah, my media context class has a lab portion that takes place Wednesday evenings, and by lab I really just mean that it's used for us to play with fancy looking cameras, so we can kind of learn the basics of that. It's taught by a couple of grad students, and so far the first day, just playing with cameras, that's pretty fun. DPing really is the one area of film outside of like the story department that I'm actually kind of interested in, that director of photography, setting up shots and stuff. So I'm actually I wasn't looking forward to this because it was like evening class, but it's actually started now, and now it's looking like it'd actually be a lot of fun. But like I realized that this is just me being a lot of optimism about these classes, and I realized that it could easily go the other way. But general optimism for now, general feeling good about where it's going. That being said, gonna go edit this vlog and do a bunch of homework. First time, oh boy.
This is delicious. After not eating all day.
Guys, look how big this praying mantis on our window is.
Yeah,
it's not focusing, but there's a praying mantis there.
No.
And it's really big.
It was fun.
P.S. In response to Devin, here's the thing about talking to wrestling about us all the time and wondering why we aren't interested in it. You have to talk about wrestling to us in a way that we care about, even a little bit. Because you're just explaining it in terms of like abstract concepts that, or not even abstract concepts, but concepts that we have no like context for. Like you're just throwing out names that we don't know without any real kind of way of us understanding what those mean or what those entail. So you have to explain things, Devin.